It's time for Afternoon Tea, presented by the Hampton Roads Tea Party.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Young rocket trailers, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, just that star-spangled banner, yeah, for the land under the frame, young home of the brave.
You are welcome to be a part of Afternoon Tea by calling 757-622-9256. That's 757-622-9256. Now, here is the host for Afternoon Tea, Keith Freeman.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm Keith Freeman with the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and this is Waverly Woods.
Waverly Woods, Virginia Beach chapter chair. Thanks for listening in.
All right, well, we're going to revisit an issue that we've been on for the last couple of weeks, but it just doesn't seem to be going away. I think they hope it does. It's the IRS scandal.
It's not going away. It's all over the news. In fact, they're now even talking about it's so much bigger how they are investigating not just your Verizon phone records, but your Google, your AOL accounts, everywhere.
Well, that's a bunch to chew right there for the government, but they got 10,000 FBI workers on that Verizon thing collecting data.
Yes,
Can you believe that? And we're paying for that.
Yes, we are.
But that is what the Tea Party is all about, is smaller government, less taxes, and personal responsibility. So if any of you have visited our website, you've seen these things: constitutionally guaranteed rights, limited government, free markets, and personal responsibility. And what we're trying to do is to drive that point home by just saying, look at what the IRS is doing. Not only are they targeting Tea Party organizations because they're ideologically opposed, $50 million on conferences and conventions.
Oh, my God. Hey, it's not just the IRS anymore. It's called It's Really Stealing. That's from my friend Jenny, who just came into town at Copacabana today. She wanted me to let me know that it is not the IRS. It's really stealing.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. They are stealing from us when they spend $60,000 for a video. Can you believe that Star Trek video that's been on the news lately?
Whatever.
I mean, it is out of this world. I'll give it that.
It sure is. And I understand during their audit, they may have lost some of their receipts.
Oh, yeah. Well,
lose
some of yours and see what happens.
Exactly. They can't find some of their receipts. The shock and awe of it all.
But you're right. It's not just the IRS. I mean, at $50 million in the last couple of years just for conferences, how many civil servants that are going out the door under this furlough situation, sequestration as it's commonly known, how many of those employees could have been saved, their jobs saved by the $50 million that the IRS has spent?
$50 million.
That's a bunch. But you may remember last year there was a scandal, and I think it was the GAO. It was either the GSA or the GAO, but I'm leaning towards the GAO. And they had been conducting lavish conferences and conventions, and the head of that organization went to Hawaii. And supposedly that's for a get-together with his people, but then he suddenly jets off to the Philippines where his wife met him on the taxpayer's dollar.
Exactly.
And so we paid for a multi-week vacation for that guy. Unfortunately, his name wasn't Obama because we would recognize that as a multi-week vacation.
Oh, yeah, well, he takes plenty of those as well on the taxpayers' dollars. He gets plenty of vacations. I don't know how many of you guys out there get that many vacations, but I sure don't.
Did you see what I put on our Facebook page about Michelle Obama and all the ski trips? Who knew?
I mean, are you kidding me?
I didn't even know she could ski.
Well, she definitely looks like she got hit with it.
I'm telling you, man. You know, this woman is multi-talented. Not only can she go to Spain with a plane load of people and spend our money,
right,
but she can go to Vail and spend our money.
And she can eat a cheeseburger while doing it. We've seen it on film.
Oh, no.
She was chewing that cheeseburger.
That had to be like a Vegemite sandwich or something.
No. Oh, was she in Australia when she did it?
Yeah. Well, we have the GAO that is in the past lavishly spent on conventions and get-togethers, and the IRS, they've been outed. The EPA, just recently, it was on national news the other night.
Yes, it was.
It was something about they had man caves. Now, why they've unfairly put this on the male group, I don't know. But in any case, they had a warehouse where they were leasing it for $750,000 a year, and they had.
What? Is that a torture chair? What are they doing with that chair? Oh, it's a gym and getting a massage. That's a massage chair or a facial chair.
Yeah, look at all the things in these pictures.
Oh, look at these pictures. Oh, you guys cannot see the pictures, but you can take my description. This is where they can see different videos. We all know what goes on in a man cave with a bunch of TV videos. And then we've got, I'm just saying. And we've got a lot of workout equipment. And this picture, shut the front door. This is all in their man cave.
Yeah, no, those
and
videos,
all on the
I'm sure it was how to reduce fracking. I don't know what you call it, but that's what I call it.
I call Debbie Does Fracking.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Is that who runs the EPA now?
I'm telling you, the girl is in there big time.
Well, there are some deep wells, I'll give them that. But in any case... Oh, we lost Waverly. I think she fell out of the chair. But anyway, these guys have taken a warehouse that was filled with all kinds of things, and we're paying for this garbage. Do you believe that? I'm having a hard time.
I mean, how many millions of dollars? They must have been in tune with the IRS. These two must have, had a conference call on how to waste the taxpayers'
money. They network.
Money.
They do, I'm sure. Hey, EPA, how do you do that anyway? Oh, we just bill it to the Obama administration, put it under vacation.
Exactly. There's a way to hide.
No one questions those expenditures.
I wonder how many receipts they lost there.
Receipts? Are you kidding me? They're not required to have receipts, only us. But when you think about that IRS stuff, the EPA, the GAO, now I hope people are getting the picture.
Right.
That this government is out of control.
Absolutely.
And y'all thought we were out of control with this.
Well, and this IRS stuff right here, what they're doing is they're abusing the intent of NDAA to actually go after terrorists. And now whatever the government wants to demonize as a terrorist, meaning Tea Party or patriot people, as you've seen with the IRS, they now are going to abuse these privileges, and it means that the next thing coming around the corner is detaining American citizens on American soil just because they think you're a terrorist.
That's already happened.
Just saying.
So we've got that one covered already.
Just saying.
In any case, Rand Paul, he says these phone seizures, they kind of take the wind out of the sails of the Obama administration and the moral high ground that they try to paint themselves as. So he says he's appalled with these practices. And to tell you the truth, I don't blame him. But as far as the IRS goes, we now have somebody named, I think it was just yesterday that Carter Hall, who's a lawyer in D.C. that works for the IRS, was named. There's an agent, Gary Muthart, I don't know how you say his name, and Elizabeth Hoffaker, who were agents, and they were told by their supervisors to call out Tea Party or 912.
Oh, here you go.
Or other like names, to call those out and give them to them so they could forward them to their supervisors in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Now, Hoffaker, she was fed up with this, and she didn't want anything to do with it. She was personally insulted because Carter Hall was micromanaging her, so she had extensive contacts with him, and he was asking about these particular cases. So she said that he was the one that was slowing down the process, and she asked to be reassigned. So when you hear about the agent that was fed up and wanted out and didn't want any part of it, she's the one. So maybe she ought to be running that organization.
Really? Well,
I mean,
or
she
just
got my vote.
Get rid of them completely.
Well,
let's give her another job.
We're going to touch on that as soon as we paint this broad picture of how these guys are squandering our money. So you've got the IRS spending money hand over fist.
Right.
And taking our money.
Flagrantly.
Yeah. And then we've got the EPA squandering our money. Hand over fist. We got the GAO. And by the way, isn't that the watchdog organization of the government?
Isn't it now?
Who's watching the watchers?
Nobody.
No, I don't know.
Nobody.
This is crazy.
Probably the Chinese. They're hacking into everything.
Yeah. Well, the Chinese are probably getting a good laugh off of this.
Exactly. I hope they're tuning in today.
We don't need weapons to take them down. They're going to bring themselves down.
Yeah.
You know, give them a few more man caves. They won't know what to do.
Exactly. Bring Debbie back.
Yeah. Well, anyway, now that IRS scandal is something. And in conjunction with that, we mentioned before that Tom Price has a bill, HR 2009.
Oh, yeah.
And the bill is simply titled, Get the IRS out of the Affordable Care Act.
Care Act, yeah.
And it has 80 sponsors, and it's extensive. And these sponsors, I've got a list of them right here.
Yep.
And by the way, that bill is now buried in the Ways and Means Committee.
Ways and Means. I say, folks, get on the phone with Ways and Means.
Great. Well,
pull it out, because it's going to stay in there until you get them past it.
Well, let me tell you, they means there ain't no ways it's coming out. So
yeah, it's pretty hard to get out of a committee once it goes there.
Well, that's funny you should say that, because the chances of it getting out of the committee are 3%. That's an independent evaluation of the legislation, and it has a 1% chance of passing. And coincidentally, I'm looking at a list of the co-sponsors, and this is pretty current as of yesterday. It was very sparse as far as Virginia congressmen. I only see one on there, Morgan Griffith.
Right. Where is our Scott?
Where are our guys?
Where is
here?
Randy Forbes?
Yeah.
Where are our guys, and why aren't they supporting this? HR 2009.
Where is Eric Cantor? Isn't he the firebrand? You know, let's control government spending.
Yeah.
Shoot, I guess it is. I guess it's good, except when it's not what he brings up.
Exactly. Well, his ego will get in the way of that.
Yeah, that's true. So, anyway, this bill has certainly not gotten the support from our congressional delegation, and we intend to call them out on this.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a break here in a few minutes, but when we come back, we're going to cover that bill just a little bit more, and we're going to go into how Obama is now on the campaign trail again. That's perpetual, not just vacations, but he's trying to sell his health care program in favorable territory in California. So we're going to talk about that and a couple of things that happened around town.
Yep.
So when we come back, we'll cover those topics. Right now, we're going to take a break.
You're listening to Afternoon Tea on 1110 WYRL.
All right, this is Keith Freeman with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm the chairman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and I'm joined today by Waverly Woods.
I am the chapter chair in Virginia Beach of the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and you can find us at HRTparty.com and check us out on our Facebook page as well, Hampton Roads Tea Party. We are looking for you.
And your money.
Yeah, bring your donations.
Yeah, and that's only a half joke. You know what they say, every joke is a half truth.
Right,
so we certainly need your financial support. Otherwise, we could not exist and fight on your behalf. How many people do we know that complain about things continually,
Mm-hmm.
but don't even bother to get up off the couch?
They sit on the bleachers. They complain to their neighbors, and they don't even put a yard sign in their yard. They don't make it. Just make a $25 contribution to Hampton Roads Tea Party. Make a $25 donation to Ken Cuccinelli, E.W. Jackson, or Mark Obenshane's campaign, because they need our help in getting this country back on track. You can no longer afford to sit on the bleachers.
Well, we had been talking about the IRS and their targeting of Tea Party organizations as well as other things. So we're going to finish that off by just saying that when they claim that they only knew this was going on at a certain time, so they report to Congress, they show up for hearings, and they say, oh, we didn't know about it but from this date going forward. Well, that's not true, because a misfired, and that's a quote from the actual story, is an email that kind of got out into somebody else's hands, and it alerted the officials in D.C. that they knew a year before.
Yeah, in 2010, the
Yeah.
email went out to what they're claiming is a misfire, but it went out to some folks that they didn't intend it to get to. So that's what that means, and that is exactly what alerted Washington that the IRS was going to be doing some targeting, and this happened back in 2010, from what that report says.
Yeah, but when they're testifying before Congress, they say, oh, we didn't know about it but from this date, but really they knew about it a year before that date.
Yes, they did.
So when is somebody going to jail is what I want to know.
Exactly, because we sure would go to jail. Any
Oh, yeah.
second now, they can storm the building and claim us terrorists and detain us indefinitely. Exactly. Well, I get 3 meals a day.
I wonder would that be in Vail? We wouldn't go to Vail, would we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You think we'd go to Guantanamo?
Well, we probably wouldn't be able to ski any longer with broken legs.
No, we wouldn't be able to ski any longer.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Well, you get it. Are you getting the picture about this IRS stuff? It's just the tip of the iceberg. When these guys are targeting us, it's not just us. Now we find out it's everybody. So we have the big story lately. They've been targeting through Verizon was the first part. They were targeting phone records and trying to do patterns and see who was calling who and could they trip somebody up? Were you making phone calls overseas?
Exactly.
So what started off with the best of intentions, even though I don't like any of the intentions of this.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm not calling terrorists. You know, well,
No.
somebody might classify some of my friends as terrorists, but I wouldn't.
No, exactly. And this is just an prime example. Look, if you thought Big Brother was just a TV show, it is now your life.
Oh, yeah. But the most recent revelation, we've gone beyond the Verizon targeting just a phone data. Now they're saying that they're targeting your emails and anything that you do on the internet.
Yep.
So anything, if you click on a site, they're profiling you.
Yep.
And I don't know if you guys are worried about that. I know you're probably not doing anything wrong.
Such an intrusion. It is such an intrusion of your private life. It is absolutely obnoxious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it goes beyond obnoxious. I think what we have is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. I'm going to bore you guys with just a little bit because it's only one paragraph. But the Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures.
Exactly.
Shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now, I can guarantee you, they weren't doing 300 million.
Please.
Come on, that number boggles my. That's the population of the United States, by the way. They were not doing 300 million subpoenas. So they just blanketed us with a law that was supposed to cover overseas operations, and now they've extrapolated that to target us in the United States. That's a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Yes.
So
And
who's
this,
going to jail?
No, none of them. None of them. None of them. What we, the people, have to actually get in action. We can no longer afford to sit back. I have to repeatedly say that. If you allow your representatives, and I do mean calling Scott Ridgell, calling Bobby Scott, calling Randy Forbes, called Robert Hurt, call Bob Goodlett, Eric Cantor. There's a whole list of them here. And
Rob Whitman, he's a local guy. We need to call him.
And this Morgan Griffith is the only one on that bill. Every one of these men should be on that bill, and it is shameful that they're not. This is an intrusion. Their job is to protect and serve us, and if they don't get on this, they're failing.
What was that IRS official that testified before Congress? She read this lengthy statement. Lois Lerner,
L-E-R-N-E-R.
Lois Lerner, I think.
Yeah.
And she asserted her Fifth Amendment right, which is self-incrimination.
Right.
You can't incriminate yourself. So in essence, they don't have a subpoena to search your phone records or search your emails. And anything that you say or do there that they're finding out about you shouldn't be used against you because you had no idea you were being targeted, and they have to make you aware of this. So isn't that self-incrimination? If you were trying to dodge the IRS, God bless you.
No kidding. No kidding. Tell me how you're doing it so we make sure we get it right.
Yeah. But if you were saying something, isn't that self-incrimination? And if they don't have a lawful subpoena or any way to obtain that data legally, I don't see how it could be used in the court of law. But yet here we have
This is all illegal. Illegal. It is such an intrusion of your freedom and your liberty. It is unfounded. I cannot believe the egregious overstep of this government. We are truly going to become a socialistic, archaic state.
Well, we're already there, by the way. But these guys in this Verizon and Meta data, I don't even know what Meta data is. I mean, it sounds like a new dating website for me. Man, I don't know.
Well, one you don't want to go to, apparently.
Yeah. You'll come away with something you don't want.
Exactly. It's not Match.com.
Yeah. Uh-oh, did we just give one for them?
She's going nuts back there. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, this seizure of our information, my understanding of it was supposed to target phone calls that were coming from overseas. By the way, there's an article in today's Virginian Pilot that deals with this and gives a few more details. In the one program, PRISM, the members of Congress that were actually briefed on it were prohibited by the law from discussing it with anybody.
Wow.
They couldn't even tell their fellow congressmen, hey, I think there's something bad going on here, or else they could be prosecuted.
Exactly.
I mean, what is going on?
They are all protecting themselves to the nth degree.
Do you guys get all of this stuff? I mean, anything you do on the internet now is subject to surveillance. Any phone calls you make are subject to surveillance. And did you know also they're looking at your medical records and your bank records? It doesn't have to be $10,000.
We're going to start stuffing our mattresses again. I wouldn't put any money in the bank.
Oh, well, they'll know that because somebody's transferring money to you. So they'll have their records and they'll be able to pattern the money flows and know exactly who and where it's going to and from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say this is so dumb, but these guys are anything but dumb. They are so smart on how they target you. And most of the stuff we don't even know. And when they claim, well, we have the best of intentions, it's for your security, then how come I feel less secure?
Exactly. I feel invaded. I feel completely violated and invaded. And this sounds like a Mel Gibson movie. Remember the conspiracy theory with Mel Gibson? Yeah. This is it. Glenn Beck was right. Everybody was like out there going, oh, Glenn Beck, he's just so far off. He's just so out there. You know, he's always the conspiracist. Yeah, about that, Glenn was right.
Well, I don't think he looks like Mel Gibson, though.
No.
So we're not. If there's ever a movie,
I don't think Mel
Gibson
doesn't look like Mel Gibson anymore. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that guy. Do you think he's got a drinking problem?
I can tell you.
I wonder if they profiled.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Yeah.
It might be self-incriminating if I answer it.
Well, speaking of the fifth, I'm sure he's had a few of those.
Maybe.
From the looks of things.
Yeah. Poor Mel.
Not
Mel. Glenn, but we were referring to Mel Gibson. Obviously, what everyone has heard in the news. But God love him.
Well, anyway, these guys are out to get us, but not just us. They're out to get you. Mm-hmm. And so if you do anything wrong, I mean, really, next thing you know, they're going to come up with things that can target your thought processes. Mm-hmm. Any deviant, abnormal wave patterns that emanate from your head. You'll be walking along and sensors on the sidewalk will be saying, hey, he's somebody.
You're walking crooked, straighten up.
I know. What is that Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
No kidding.
Oh, man, they're all over us. We'll never be able to commit a crime. Not that we want to, but I'm saying if a crime is committed, the Constitution protects you. You don't have to rat yourself out. It's their job to prove it, not yours.
Exactly.
But,
innocent until proven guilty.
Wow, I think that was a novel thought right there. Maybe we ought to just fax that over to the White House.
I don't think they can read it. It's not spelt in socialism.
Well, they can read, all right. They are certainly reading our email as we speak.
Exactly.
Well, we are coming up on a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the president and Obamacare and how he's trying to pitch this still. This guy is perpetually on the stump.
Oh, yeah. Well, he hadn't heard of anything until he saw it on CNN anyway.
Oh, yeah. I found out about it when you found out about it.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. I just wish we'd find out that he was leaving office. Take Eric Holder with you.
See ya.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we'll cover the Constitution a little bit more with President Obama and his tax scheme, which is called Obamacare, when we come back from the break. This guy is something else. He's a piece of work.
Find us on Facebook, Hampton Roads Tea Party, HRTparty.com.
We'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to Afternoon Tea on 1110 WYRM.
Welcome back. This is Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I am Keith Freeman with the Hampton Roads Tea Party, the chairman, and this is Waverly Woods.
I am the Virginia Beach chapter chair of the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and you can find us at HRTparty.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Hampton Roads Tea Party. And we had something, just before we go into that, we have an exciting event coming up in August 6th. It's the first Tuesday in August. At the Central Library in Virginia Beach. Heritage Action is putting on a training seminar and training us on how to have the right skills to respond to some of these negative attacks. Melody Scally is going to be there with us. She's the representative from Heritage Action. I encourage everyone. We've got it posted on our website. We're posting it on our Facebook page. If you can get to the Virginia Beach Central Library right there by Princess Anne High School on Virginia Beach Boulevard, it's the 1st April in August, and I believe it is August 6th, and it's at 6:30. Doors open 6:30 p.m. Please get there. Bring your laptops.
Yes, it is August 6th. It's a skills clinic, and even if you don't become involved politically, it might behoove anyone out there that's interested in Facebook to come to see how this is done. I mean, it'll be so basic. People will help you set up accounts there if you want, your own Facebook page. They'll tell you how to find friends. But they'll also show you how to go out and search out things, post links, post pictures,
right.
All these things, which are valuable for networking. Like I know that recently my father-in-law passed away last year, and my wife was able to keep everyone informed, through Facebook. It was Georgia, it was Florida, and other places. So she was able to keep the whole family informed of what was going on. And I've heard people, older people particularly, they say, well, I just pick up the phone and call. But it's difficult to call 50 people.
Right. It's too hard. Too many people. And, if you can send out an email or if you can send out a Facebook message to your family and friends, it keeps everybody in the loop. So it does that. Now, sometimes, there may not be something in the newspaper that you want to respond to politically, but they will train you on how to write letters to the editor and how to respond in blogs on the news, in the newspaper as well. So it's very informative. Anybody can come learn some of these great skills. We've done some training skills with the Hampton Roads Tea Party at that library as well, just teaching folks how to work Facebook, how to create an email address. You could do it, I hardly hate to say it, but you can do it through Yahoo and Google, who are all being searched now by the Obama
they're going to know
administration.
exactly what you're sending out.
I know. But we can help you do some of those things as well, even if they are watching you. They can watch me all day long.
Oh,
I call him Precious in every email, just in case Precious is watching.
Well, I'm looking forward to them targeting my emails and targeting my Facebook pages, because I'm saying things that are insulting to this administration.
Exactly.
So hopefully Obama personally is reading them.
Right. Enjoy.
Speaking of him, Obama, he is, once again, like I mentioned before, on the stump. He's trying to go to California where he has a favorable audience. And he's pitching Obamacare and saying how it's going to help the underprivileged. It'll allow them to have health care coverage where they didn't have that before. Oh, that is absolutely true. He ain't lying there for the first time in his actual administration. He is not lying. But coverage does not guarantee you access.
Exactly.
So you can sign all the people you want into a plan, but if no doctors are going to see them because of the reimbursement rates are so low.
Well, not only that, if you can't get an appointment because everyone else has got one in front of you.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, there is months of waiting to get to a doctor at this point. Doctors are pulling out of their practices now because it's not affordable. The liability is astronomical, and they're being overweighted with an abundance of patients that they cannot even get to and give proper care.
Well, a guy that is with Forbes magazine, he's a commentator. His name is Avik Roy, and he said that prices were, in fact, and this is a quote, going up as much as 146%.
Oh, my gosh.
And I know you guys have seen these miscellaneous stories that they tried to
play
sprinkle
down.
in.
Yeah, Rachel Mad Cow.
Yeah, Mad Cow. That's a good one for her.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
She's insane. Someone give her a rabies shot.
But what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to have health care for everyone. Well, first of all, it's not for everyone.
Right.
And second, the access is not going to be there for everyone. You might be covered, but you're not going to get an appointment.
Exactly.
You're not going to find doctors to cover you. And when you do get appointments, it's going to be months down the line.
Months down the road, yep.
And so they're actually going to dismantle our healthcare system as we know it. Mm-hmm. When you pay something like $2,000 as an employer as a penalty for not insuring your employees, well, that's a bargain, because the health care plan that you were furnishing to your employee in some cases is way above $2,000.
Right. Now, that is one aspect of it. But a very good friend of mine works for Dollar Tree and is in charge of that very aspect of...
I think I know her.
I think you do, too. And as we were sitting at the convention together, she was going through some of the paperwork and the fines that will come to that company if they don't have every I dotted and every T crossed. It's millions of dollars that they can be fined for every employee that doesn't get the proper information and they don't sign all these documents, and she has to file every single person nationwide that works for this company. It's insane, and that alone will put companies out of business.
Well, that's true. Well, it's not just the fines, but the quality of your health care. Now, just from the common sense standpoint, I'm just saying that if there were that many people that were uninsured or underinsured, and we had a problem with it, why couldn't we have just taken a program and say, we're going to set up clinics like in most major cities. Here's a clinic. Let the poor people go to a clinic that can't afford health care. That way health care is being provided to them, and they're not overwhelming the emergency rooms.
We have clinics now. There are clinics right now for people that are unfortunate or don't have a lot of money.
Well, they're not going to have to worry about that now.
Yeah, no.
They're going to go to the same doctors we go to, and we're not even going to be able to get an appointment, even though we pay.
And God forbid all the illegal immigrants that are still in this country that are getting free health care at our expense.
Oh, yeah. Well, they said that this new immigration bill will forego that. They won't be entitled
because they'll walk into the hospital in the emergency room, and they'll have broken arm, God forbid, the flu or worse, and they're just going to say, sorry, do you have your green card? Because we're not going to treat you without it. Yeah, that's what they do. I don't believe
that's what they did. You look at California. Please. There are so many emergency rooms that have been shut down because of illegal immigrants coming to those facilities. And they tell them how to do it. Don't take a cab to the emergency room because you have to pay a cab. They're not going to let you get off the hook. This is a guy who makes his living driving you around. Call the ambulance, even if you've got like sinus problems or colds or whatever. Preventive Medicare or medication.
So ridiculous.
that's what they do. They'll call the ambulance. They get taken to the hospital because they know they'll bill you later. Bill who?
Really?
They're
What
not even putting
address?
down real addresses.
Exactly.
So anyway, we need
fake
to fix.
IDs. We've already figured that out. Remember the gal that ran for governor in California? Who was the woman that she just lost to that brown guy that was going to be the governor of California? And they pulled out the big scandal because she had hired a woman that gave her illegal documents. The documents said she was an American citizen. They were illegal documents, and then that famous lawyer that's always on E! Entertainment, she represented the illegal alien, and they told her, you're doing all this, but it's going to send this woman back to Mexico. She's got fraudulent documents. She's here illegally, and you're going to sue this woman because she's running for governor because she hired her. She hired her under the pretense that her documents were legitimate, Anyway, all the idiots out in California voted for the other guy because of it. It's just ridiculous. I mean, that country, that state, it is the People's Republic of California, and sometimes you got to cut some people loose.
Well, they certainly like Jerry Brown out there. They keep reelecting him for
exactly.
whatever.
And he's the one that had all the blackouts out there with the power shortages.
Well, this is a guy, I don't believe in Virginia Beach he could be elected dog catcher, but yeah. We'll see. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we've got a friend from Hampton, Nelson. Nelson's on the phone. Is he still with us?
Yes.
Hey, Nelson. Sorry it took us so long to get to you. What's going on, my friend? What's your question?
Oh, okay. I got a lot of questions. I don't know where to start.
Well, give us your first one and do it quick.
Oh, okay. All right. The one about the guy.
Come on, man. Spit it out.
The guy that was masked as a Dr. Spock, and he was on TV yesterday. The commission they were really grilling him.
Yeah.
He actually was made up like that, and he was the commissioner in charge of one of the events that they had at the IRS convention.
Oh, you're talking about the Star Trek video that cost $60,000 to produce.
Well, yes, and the guy that was supposed to be Dr. Spock with the ears and all that stuff.
Correct.
Couldn't see him.
It was hard to recognize him. He could have been anybody with those ears in the Obama administration.
Exactly.
He could have been Obama's brother, for God's sake.
Well, wait a minute. He was
made in China.
No, but he was sitting in front of the hearing yesterday, and he was one of the 4 or 5 that were testifying on how much money that the IRS had been wasted. And
did he still have those ears on?
Right. But they showed a picture of him dressed up like Dr. Spock with the ears on.
Right.
But in reality, they asked him, now, was that you in this movie depicting Dr. Spock? And he said, yes. And then he went on to, he says, yes, that's me. But he said, I'm very, very embarrassed that this happened. I'm sorry that I did this.
Well, then tell him to give us the money back. Yeah, tell him to give us the money back. All right, look, we've got to go, Nelson. We've got to go to a break.
$4 million.
Right. All right, stand by, Nelson. We've got to go to a break real quick.
You've been listening to the Hampton Roads Tea Party. This is Afternoon Tea. And right after these messages...
You're listening to Afternoon Tea on 1110 WYRM.
Welcome back to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm Keith Freeman, chairman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. This is Waverly Woods.
And I am the Virginia Beach chapter chair of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. And you can find us on Facebook, Hampton Roads Tea Party, and you can also check out our website, HRTparty.com. We are looking for you.
All right, Nelson kind of threw us off track, so if we sounded a little off kilter there at the end of that one.
Well, Nelson was fun. He gave us a good Spock break.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
He gave us a good Spock break.
I was laughing about the ear things.
That man must think himself a fool now to have to go to this extent of investigation where you have to sit in front of a committee and explain why you use $60,000 of the taxpayers' money so you can look like Spock. You must know you look like a fool.
Well, not
fool.
We look like the fools. We're the taxpayers, and we're footing the bill.
Yeah, we're footing the bill, all right.
Oh, man, did you hear about the cost of those suites? $1,500 to $3,500.
$500. Yes, I totally heard about that.
Oh, my God. I hope that came with some extras.
I'm telling you right now. Oh, you mean like man cave extras?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I know. Oh.
All right, so we've got our event August 6th with the Heritage Action Group. It's a seminar, a training seminar with Heritage Action, and Melody Scally, she is awesome. She's going to be our leader in this. And we've also got a good friend, Jessica. She's started a group called Bad Brass Women.
Woohoo! Oh, they're going to be meeting on the 13th of this month, Thursday, at Fresh Crust, and that's on Lynn Haven Parkway. Mm-hmm. It's not too far from Lynn Haven Mall.
Yeah.
And specifically, that group is for women to become more comfortable handling guns, become more familiar with their Second Amendment rights. And she is right now trying to negotiate good prices so women can go as a group to shooting ranges and
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going. I don't have a gun. I've never owned a gun, and I was always afraid I'd shoot myself. But I am excited to be a member of this group now because I met with them at their first meeting. It was an organizational meeting, and I instantly joined. I love Jessica. Actually, her family does my insurance for my car and my home. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. And so at any rate, so I'm going to be a part of Bad Brass Women, and I am going to go shoot some guns.
Yeah, well, my wife joined also, Tammy Freeman, and she is excited because she's ready to go shoot the gun that I bought her. I bought her a .357, and so she's ready to. She keeps asking me about it. When can we go? When can we go? So I can't put that off anymore.
I'm not going to be able to stand next to her at this shooting range because she and I, we're goofing off way too much. Somebody's going to get hurt. I've got to be at the far end of this thing because Tammy is always creating problems.
Well, I don't know if anybody remembers Jessica. She was on a national news segment about women and Second Amendment rights.
Yes, she was.
And so they featured her at a local watering hole, shall we say.
Yeah.
And she was packing.
Was it All Around Pizza, where we will be tonight at 7 o'clock for Liberty on the Rocks?
It wasn't at All Around. That's why I didn't mention their name.
Oh. Well, wherever it was. We still like All Around.
Yeah, and by the way, All Around Pizza, he was getting a little notoriety. I heard people from Florida.
That Morgan guy. Good boy.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Please, somebody.
Immigrant? I'm not sure.
Somebody please take his green card. Good Lord.
Check his status. I bet you they're not targeting him.
Yeah, I bet he's not being targeted. He's so far up Obama, you can't even see his feet.
Oh, my gosh. What does that mean? Well, that must be what Chris Matthews is talking about when he has that thrill running up and down his leg.
He did say that.
Yeah, he does. Man, that Obama has an effect on these men.
Yes, he does. I'm just saying, they might butter their bread on both sides.
Oh. I'm not going to touch that one. We're going back to Bad Brass Women.
There you go.
Anyway, Jessica did a real good job organizing this, and we urge you to show up, learn how to handle firearms safely, and learn your rights, and hopefully procure a weapon to protect yourself. In her interview, I remember saying that she felt more comfortable knowing that she was able to defend herself should someone approach her that didn't seem to be friendly, shall we say.
Right.
So I think that's extremely important, and that's what I had in mind when I bought my wife that gun. I bought her specifically one that she could carry in her purse, so we need to arrange for that concealed weapons permit. But also, that's the purpose of this organization, is to help women get those concealed permits or get whatever documentation.
I'm excited to do it. Yes, like I said, I don't have a concealed weapons permit and I don't own a gun, but I own a small business, and I'm dying to have one. It's my right to have one.
To shoot somebody.
Hey, if you're coming, just know I'm packing.
Uh-oh. Y'all hear that? To get you with a curling iron or
That's
something.
right.
I don't know.
You come to Copacabana, you get nuked.
Some nail polish. Watch out.
Or just a .357 Magnum.
Now, what do y'all spray that tan on with? Is that like a little nozzle, a gun or something?
Well, that could be like an airbrush gun. I think that might be what you're... Yes, it's like an airbrush gun.
So you are packing.
Yes, I'm airbrush gun. Yeah. But we have private booths as well, so it doesn't have to be a booth that you're in there with an individual.
You couldn't spray that on a perpetrator that comes in to rob you or something.
No. But we do have, taser guns and mace at the counters. So.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Is that for general use?
Burglar, be warned. No, it's only in case of emergency.
Okay.
Break open glass.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to wrap all this up today by just saying you guys need to read your Constitution.
Absolutely. And call us. We'll get you one.
Oh, yeah. We have many copies of them.
See
Just
one
contact us. We'll give you one.
HRTparty.com. We'll get you one.
It is absolutely a beautiful document in its simplicity. It's not like it's hard reading. There's not a test afterwards except to say, do you want your citizenship to be complete? That's the only test. Are you willing to stand up for your rights? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you don't mind having your rights trampled and things taken away from you, then that's all good. You have the right to do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
But these things that are going on are just so egregious. They are just so far out there. IRS scandals, EPA scandals, GAO scandals, Benghazi scandal, Fast and Furious. We haven't even talked about those two where actual people were killed.
Right.
And do you get the feeling that they're just putting out one crisis after another? I mentioned that before.
It's very distracting.
Yeah, well, there's going to be no solution to each crisis because the American public is looking at the next crisis.
Right. It's reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
And it's quite surreal.
I feel like I'm on a Survivor show.
Exactly. Exactly.
So they've not only violated the Tea Party stuff about the First Amendment, they violated our Fourth and Fifth Amendments as well. And Rand Paul, he mentioned some of these things about how he was outraged that all this is happening. And here's a quote. I'm appalled. Boy, was that complicated or what?
I'm appalled.
But it goes on. He goes, I'm not opposed to them going to a judge and getting an order for an individual when you have probable cause. Now, where did you hear that? That's your Fourth Amendment right.
Exactly.
To believe that they have been involved with a crime. It's not that I don't want to go after terrorists or rapists or murderers or any kind of terrible criminal. It's that I want to go after them, not the rest of the law-abiding citizens that are out there. So you can see the assault on our liberties. Not everybody wants to own a gun. Bad Brass Women is only for people that want to own guns, only for women that want to become involved and do things safely and find out the rules and regulations on it. But that tragedy that occurred in Connecticut, that was the opening salvo on our Second Amendment rights. Mm-hmm. And the reality of that is, in Connecticut, they had some of the most stringent gun laws, and they actually had an automatic weapons gun ban, assault weapons ban.
Wow.
And so that didn't seem to have prevented anything. The only thing these so-called laws to curtail gun ownership.
It disarms citizens from defending themselves. The police cannot be everywhere, and this only disarms good citizens from protecting themselves.
Well, look, we have one more announcement to make, and that's June 11th. It's a primary.
The 85th District.
Yep, the House. Bob Tata is retiring. The coach is out. We have Gary Byler. We have Scott Taylor and Jeremy Waters.
And we have endorsed Gary Byler.
He has been a friend to liberty. He is helping us with this IRS issue and Freedom of Information Act requests, and as well as helping us to contact Jay Sekulow and the ACLJ to get involved in that lawsuit.
Exactly. So he has definitely been an ally for us, and I am glad to support him on June 11th. I'll be working precincts for him, and I hope some of you guys will make yourselves available to come. If you need to help and you can help Gary, find us at HRTparty.com. Send us a note. We'll put you in the right place.
Absolutely. So you got a lot on your plate. Bad Brass Women next Thursday the 13th. August 6th, the Skills Clinic at the Virginia Beach Public Library, Central Library. And June 11th, we have a primary. So if you want your rights protected, you got to get off the couch, really.
Come on.
All right, this has been the Afternoon Tea Party with Keith Freeman and Waverly Woods.
Virginia Beach Chapter Chair. Find us at HRTparty.com and on Facebook.